feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just...
Hey, what's going on, everyone? And this week I want to talk about things you can do to have better fuel economy. One of the things I want to talk about is your routine preventive maintenance. You know, your oil changes, make sure your fuel filters are changed, make sure you have a proper alignment and things like that. A lot of those things, you know, are done in order to make sure your truck is ran efficiently. And you know, you want to make sure that you do the recommended intervals when doing so, because it can save you a lot of money, you know, because your truck is running properly. And make sure, you know, you keep up with those routine schedules, because, you know, aligned trucks and trailers, tractor and trailers can affect, you know, your aerodynamics. It can make your engine work harder, and it can affect you in the long run. Another one I want to talk about is limiting your unnecessary idling. Me personally, I don't really idle overnight. I idle just enough to keep the temperatures circulated. I don't have an APU unit. If possible, you can purchase one or finance one. I would recommend that because you don't want to idle, because, you know, it clogs up, you know, number one, it clogs up your DPF filters. And another thing, you know, it runs fuel. It costs about I think a half a gallon, a quarter a gallon, between a quarter and a half a gallon to idle per hour. I know it don't sound like much, but it can add up to about, you know, $40-50 a day. You know, that's, you know, that affects your check, you know, $200 to $300 a week just by idling all week. So do the things that you can do without idling. Me personally, like I said, I idle just enough. If it's very cold outside, I idle, keep the heat in there in the truck, and then what I do, I, you know, close off, you know, my cab in the back, and I go back there and I get under the covers. I mean, usually it's cold in the morning, but it's just the things I do. You don't have to do that. Just know if you idle over time, it's going to cost you more money. Whether you got to take it in for service for your, you know, your filters, you know, to get clean and cooked and things like that, it's going to cost you money in the long run. Reducing your average speed. You know, although most trucks go about 70, 68 miles per hour, you know, when they're governed from the factory, it's best to travel between 60 and 65. Depending on your truck, you know, you can tell you want your truck to idle around 1400 RPM. That's probably a good speed, and you can optimize your fuel economy that way. The Kenworth runs a lot better at lower speeds than this International. So you just got to know your truck, know your equipment, and find out where you want it to idle between 1200 and 1400 RPM when you're driving, and, you know, keep your foot off the gas. Use, you know, your momentum, you know, to go up and down hills. Pretty much, you know, when the weight can carry you down a hill, you pretty much have to put your feet on the throttle and use just your momentum most of the time to try to optimize your, you know, your best fuel economy, and that'll help out a lot. Optimizing your routes. You know, it's best to pre-plan your routes, and try to find the shortest routes to get there, the shortest, safest truck routes to get there, and try not to detour, you know, use extra miles that would come out of your pocket, and just try to travel at times where there's not too much congested traffic. You know, if you can go around that, you know, because the more you stop and go, the more your engine has to work in order to get up to the speeds, and it spends more fuel doing that. So pay a good attention to that too. Try to optimize your routes as best as you can, and that will save you money. One of the biggest things that I see people do is they overfuel. Know your truck. Know how many miles per gallon your truck gets. Mine's get an average 7.75, so I don't overfuel. I know if I got a load that's 1,400 miles, I only need 2 full tanks. I got 200-gallon tanks on each, 100-gallon tank on one side, 100-gallon tank on the other side, and I use it like that. So you just got to know how to fuel your truck. Just put enough fuel in there to get to your destination. Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday, like I said, you can pretty much fuel how you want to, but around Thursday and Friday is probably the end of the pay period. And the pay period starts on Monday at 12:01 a.m. all the way to Sunday at 11:59. So you don't want to put $200 to $300 of fuel left in your tank come Monday morning, because that comes out your overall fuel. And excuse this truck passing. It come out your overall bottom line. So pay close attention to how you fuel, learn your equipment, and know how many miles per gallon you get, and fuel accordingly. That will save you tons of money in the long run. It don't look like it a week or two, but over a year, we looking, you can save hundreds and thousands of dollars. Another one is fuel station pre-planning. Get on your apps. You got Trucker Path, you got all type of apps that you can actually, when you get a load, you can pre-plan your routes, because it can play a big difference from spending, $4.10 a gallon to $4.80 a gallon. And know your routes, because that's $70. If you do that 4 times a week, that's $280 a week that you could have saved. So pay close attention to how you plan your routes. Find the closest and the most cheapest routes within your fuel card network, and utilize that to the best of your ability. That alone will save you hundreds of dollars a week. And another one is maintaining your tire pressure. Maintaining your tire pressure is very important, because when your tire pressures are low, you have more resistance. So that means, therefore, your truck has to work harder to pull your truck in the load, and it's just a little harder on the truck, so which costs you more money in the long run. So if you check your tire pressure frequently, it'll help with the dynamics of how the truck pulls, the weight, and your truck will move a lot smoother. So pay attention to those 7 things, and I guarantee that it would help you save a ton of money, with your fuel management. I hope this helped you in some way, and we're just gonna keep on trucking and trying to find ways to save money. Until next time, keep on trucking.